Hello everyone. So I was strolling the Instagram the other day and I saw a very bold and sappy post that John Gray made about his wife, Aventer Gray, once again. And if you recall, guys, we have been down this road before where John Gray has made a post or a statement or done an interview praising Aventer after he has cheated on her multiple times, and it has caused the Christian community to erupt. Now, if I can jog your memory a little bit, remember he did the interview on the Sister Circle where he spoke about Aventer being basically more mature than him, and that she's a covering and 2 sizes too big, and she's had to watch him grow up as a man. And so now we have this IG post among other posts where he is once again praising her and speaking about his hiatus and how he is sorry and this, that, and the third. But I'm going to play a clip of the Sister Circle interview to just jog your memory a little bit, and then I'm going to read the post that he recently made. And then I'm going to read John Gray a little bit, because John Gray is the master of words, but we are the fools of none.
The wife that I chose is better than the man that I am. I married a woman 2 sizes too big. I have to grow into Aventer. She's a coat. I still can't fit her. She's bigger than me. And she's had to cover me while I grow up. I got to grow into her.
So she's a covering.
She's a covering, not a lid.
Ooh,
because if a man marries a lid, she'll stop your dream. But if you marry a covering, she'll push you to your destiny. Now, I'm about to shout and tear this whole thing up. I'm just telling you.
All the way out of this studio.
Let me tell you something. My wife has endured more pain birthing me than both of our children. She has sacrificed these last 8 years uncovering the painful areas of my manhood and covering the areas that could have exposed me. She deserves anything I can give her. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm going to live the rest of my life to honor her, because she gave me what I couldn't give myself, which is a chance to heal while still seeing the God in me.
Hey, y'all got time? All right, good. I'm about to read this long IG post and we're going to get into it. And if I fumble over any words, y'all, please take it for love. All right. A few months ago, I sat down from leading at Relentless. My life wasn't in order. Church isn't first. My wife is. This is my wife. She is from God. She is a life giver. She is a kingdom builder. Her name is Aventer. I met her at church. She was worshiping God through dance over time. She allowed me in her life and let me dance with her. She took my ring and said yes. We began our forever journey. What my dance partner didn't know was that I was very much unfinished. I never knew what consistent discipline, planning, leadership, manhood, or personal holiness in action from a man's standpoint looked like. Living a shadow life, God was unwilling to let me die, assuming I was whole. I failed to uphold the holy standard of God in my marriage. I'm sorry. Although you are the only woman I've ever slept with, emotional unfaithfulness is just as wrong. Sin is sin. People want to minimize one sin over the other when it all can get you sent to hell. Oh boy. My marriage forced me to face both of me, flesh versus spirit. It is every man's battle. Loving God isn't enough. Preaching Jesus isn't enough. Face yourself, get delivered, or hurt the ones you actually love you the most. I started intense counseling, personal and for my marriage, in the summer. Scariest thing ever. Most necessary thing ever. I had no one to blame. My life is my responsibility. Admit you're wrong. God deserves better. My wife deserves better. The pain I caused her is unmeasurable. Seeing her name in blogs because of things I did broke my soul. So since I was the cause of public embarrassment, let me be just as loud about public honor. Aventer, you are a miracle to me. I am sorry for the pain I caused you. Your name should have never come up in conversation in any negative way with anyone ever. I must do the work to earn your trust. I've lived a life I'm not proud of in so many ways, but before I die, I will be the man God intended and the husband that your heart can rest with. I'll be the father my kids can be proud of. I'll be the pastor Relentless can stand behind. I'm in the process and I will stay in it. May the man I'm becoming match the vision God showed you. I love you. Woo Chile. All right, so you saw the clip from John Gray with the Sister Circle, and then, I read the post, the IG post that he made. And, John Gray has done this on different occasions based on his infidelities that he's had in the past. And each time that he's had a case where he's been, unfaithful or had some sort of situation going on, He's had to pull the words together to give us the gift of gab, to speak in a way that, you know, captivates us and draws us in to believe that, you know what, this is my queen. I love her so much. I am so sorry. I am not worthy. Okay, stop, play, repeat. This is my queen. I love her. I am not worthy. I am sorry. Do you understand what I'm saying? The first time that he did it, it drew us in. We were like, okay, I understand it. Wow, this is amazing. And as time has went on and the more that he's done, it's like, okay, I know for me, I don't believe it. It does not feel credible. It does not feel sincere. It just feels like you're doing another, cleanup, like another publicity stunt, or is Aventer at the point where she is wanting to leave John Gray? Because she can be put out and we may not be seeing it. Because, Aventer is looking real good. She's losing weight. She's looking good. I mean, this woman has done a lot. But she really could be at the point where she's wanting to leave John. I don't know. I'm completely speculating. Now, with this whole situation with John Gray, and I've discussed it before in a couple videos prior, in the Bible, it says, do not judge unless ye be judged. And I definitely understand. And I definitely understand, like, this man has made a mistake just like we have made mistakes time and time over again. But God forgives us and he will teach us, sit us down. We will receive our lashes. But just know that we have to learn from our mistakes, right? But we also have this beautiful and wonderful thing called discernment when we're looking at other people who have sinned, right? So when we're looking at these interviews now and these long IG posts that he's writing, it's just like we really have to activate our discernment, And again, I'm just not buying it. So, a couple of things from his IG post that I picked up, he said people want to minimize one sin over the other when it all you sent to hell. And so when it comes to Christians, it can look like, we're cherry picking, like one sin is worse than the others, or I'm going to look at this one thing that you're doing wrong and I'm going to attack you for that while I'm doing something bad as well. I understand it. However, that statement that he made just sounds like a lack of accountability. I'm sorry. He really did also, and he mentioned this, he really did embarrass Aventer in the blogs. Had her name out there again. And it is humiliating for a woman to have to sit there and listen to more audio recordings of you entertaining another woman. It does not feel good. It does not look good. It causes a great amount of stress. And she has to relive this all over again on top of trying to be a mother and trying to be your wife and trying to be a daughter and trying to operate the church. And here we go again. Yes, it was definitely embarrassing you running this woman's name out here like that. She did not ask for this at all. She married you with good intentions, not for it to be, 2019 or 2020. And I'm being embarrassed in front of the public. Now, he mentioned counseling also in his post. And when it comes to doing the work for an individual, it can definitely be hard. But how hard is it for you to keep your thing in your pants? How hard is it for you to stop entertaining and dealing with other women? And I know he says, Aventer is the only woman that he slept with. And he has said that multiple times. And you can only tell somebody that for so much, or you can only tell somebody that so many times before they start to like perk up their ears and be like, okay, wait, why do you keep telling us this? And, I heard a rumor that, Aventer is not the only woman that he slept with. But, I'm not going to challenge that. But at the same time, like, let that be. you know? But he's claimed to not sleep with these other women that he's cheated on Aventer with. And it's only been emotional. It's emotional. It's emotional. No matter how you twist and turn this whole thing, it is cheating. Okay? No matter what. In the beginning of the IG post that he posted, you know, he said that, you know, Aventer was a dancer and, you know, he met her in church and he asked her to marry her. She said yes, but she didn't know basically that he was damaged. Okay? When you meet someone, you're not going to be 100% whole. During your time of singleness, that's your time to get yourself together as much as you can. But you're never going to meet somebody at 100%, meaning all their childhood dramas are taken care of. They are good to go. You know, the battles that they have behind closed doors is pretty much settled. Like, you're never going to find someone like that. There is no perfect man. But at the same time, like, how many times are you going to let your childhood trauma destroy somebody else's life? Now you're impacting somebody else's life and you're asking them to stay, hoping that you don't do it again. So, you know, it's like you met this woman, she's a dancer, and then you dance your behind on down to the car dealership to buy her a car to, you know, to cover her up, to make her feel good the first time. Now, what you gonna do? You know, cheating is a bit complex. I'm gonna say that. It should be a deal breaker, but there are people that work through the cheating. There's people that tolerate it. And you know what? My hands are up. I really can't touch on that. I've never been in a position where I've been in a really, really long-term situation and, you know, my man messes up. So, you know, I give him this one pass, we work through it, and that's it. You know, women operate differently when it comes to cheating. Like, a woman can cheat and she's more susceptible to take him back. And opposed to a man, if that woman cheats, it's like game over, the world is over, like he's hurt, beyond hurt. You know, because when a man loves, that's him breaking down his barrier, that's him being vulnerable and taking in a woman to be his provider for. Or some men, they just go out there and smash everything walking to get over what just happened to them. You know, everybody is different. But you know, Aventer and so many other women are not dishcloths. They're not rags. They're not sponges where you fill them up with all these wonderful words to draw them back in, and then you wring them out and drain them. And then you fill, you know, that person back up, and then you wring them out and drain them. That takes a lot, you know? It's like when John Gray uses these masterful words and puts things together so beautifully for us to buy. Like, after a while, you start to run out, you know? Okay, like for instance, I'm going to play another clip here of John Gray, again, using the gift of gab, but at the same time, I'm listening to him, but I'm no longer receptive of what he's saying.
Something that people make up. It's salacious, it grabs attention, but it is not rooted in the reality of what a pastor is or what a pastor should be. There are no celebrities in God's kingdom. Everybody has equal value.
Still, many churchgoers put him on a pedestal that he says he is hoping will be eliminated. But to do that, we have to go back to 2018, to the beginning of what has turned into a tumultuous tenure in Greenville, South Carolina. He hopes that you will hear him out and see the full picture.
Because the last 2.5 years have been class, graduate level classes on pain and business and ministry and relationships. And most people don't realize that church was never created for business. It wasn't. The church was established to help wounded.
And see, y'all, that's what I'm talking about. You know, the graduate school of pain, and then early on he's talking about Aventer being a covering and all this stuff. And y'all, let me tell you, you know, after a while, you start to lose trust and credibility in someone. they start to lose traction after a while. Yes, master of words, gift of gab, he has that. But when you have that strong discernment, when you can see through people, when you can pick up on things and give it a side eye, but you smile, that's a very dangerous thing right there. Because see, more and more people are going to be showing their discernment, activating their discernment in the Christian community. And so, you know, John Gray can really be on his way to losing trust with the Christian community. And it can spill over into his pastoring. Because, you know, right now he's on hiatus, you know, going through counseling and trying to get himself together for the second round, the second time. And again, we all have sinned. We all have done wrong. But I think it gets to the point where, you know, hey, you're a pastor. You have to walk much different than other people. You know, I remember when he was doing his apology sermon, and he said that other pastors need to get themselves together because, you know, God is basically not playing with any of us. Last time I checked, God was not playing with any of us, period, at any time in our lives. I know right now, this is a different time for us in our life, and we should be using this opportunity to get ourselves together and stay prayed up. But honey, every minute and every hour, we got to be checking ourselves. And it ain't all about 2020, if you understand what I'm saying. So for John Gray to say, hey, other pastors, you need to check yourself because God is not out here playing, that sounds like you, again, not taking accountability. And I'm really hoping that John Gray fights through his battles. I know he's had his childhood traumas. I know he's had his issues, but he has to work through them because he is a public figure. And you know, you run out after a certain amount of time. So you have to face those battles. You know, you're going to have to move on. You know? And so guys, in my head right now, all I can think about is those audio recordings of the voicemails and the FaceTime that he's done with those women outside of his marriage. And I'm also thinking about him getting right back in the pulpit and preaching to the people like nothing is wrong. And see, we don't want to judge him because it's people that are doing wrong and illegal things every day, and then they're getting in front of an audience or in front of people like nothing is happening. But see, things catch up to you, you know? And when I think of those audio recordings, and I also think of, you know, John Gray, you know, pastoring, also on top of doing, you know, interviews and making posts and all this stuff like that, you know, it's a bit of a clash. It doesn't line up. You know, he's one John Gray behind closed doors when he has the opportunity, but then he gets up in front of the world and it's just like a whole different person. And just to mention something earlier that I expressed, that John Gray said that Aventer, you know, did not ask for her name to be in the blogs like that, you know, that he was basically hurt that all of that happened. And I wonder if Aventer mentioned something to him about it, and that's what motivated him to put that one portion in the blogs, you know? You know, I wonder if she was having a conversation with him one night and she said, you know what, my name is out here in the blogs being dragged around and it's going to forever be on the internet. Like, I wonder if she said something to him about that. Because, you know, it very much is true. You know, when she got married to him, she didn't ask for him to be, you know, doing all this crazy stuff out here in the streets and then putting her in that certain situation. I mean, this woman was, you know, battling it out with Tasha K, you know, telling her not to put the story out. I mean, it eventually got out and that's how we found out about it. But I mean, that's one of the many things that Aventer had to deal with, you know? And overall, I wonder, why did John Gray even make the post in the first place? You know, was it after a counseling session and he had an epiphany? You know, did he have a moment of tremendous guilt and he decided to, you know, make the post? Or, like I said before, is Aventer starting to wake up and say, you know what? I'm feeling good. I need to get my life back on track. My kids are good. I want to get more into my word. I have some goals I want to achieve. And maybe the John Gray that I met before can't go on this journey with me in the future. Who knows? Again, Aventer could be leaving him. So, I hope for John Gray to follow the words that, that he should love his wife just as Jesus Christ loved the church. But if he cannot get his acts together, and again, I don't know why this post came about, then, he cannot fulfill himself in the marriage as well as fulfilling himself in the church. So guys, leave me your thoughts. Tell me how you feel about this post. How do you feel about this, ongoing situation with John Gray? All right, you guys take care.